Now I've forgotten the line.
She's gonna have to go to the top. Please don't do this! We took him out!
What's a tesseract?
Oh. Do you really want to know? Okay, oh, got the string. And there's the ant. Oh. Okay, so imagine the ant here wants to get to our other hand.
We use the usual 4 dimensions, the 3 spatial ones.
Length, width, and height.
In the 4th dimension, time, the ant's quickest option is to walk across a string, right?
Right.
But it turns out a straight line is not the shortest distance between 2 points. Not if you use the 5th dimension.
5th dimension.
Dimension outside of the rules most people know, time and space. See? The ant arrives in my other hand instantaneously.
So you fold space.
Kinda. Like fold time. Well, more like wrinkle time.
Are you following me?
Sort of.
You're not from here. Did Central Intelligence approve you?
What's Central Intelligence?
I wasn't talking to you. What's wrong with your eyes? And your hair? And your shape? You look like a frog.
No, she doesn't. She has a great shape. Not that it matters what shape you have. I mean, if it did, you're a great one, but it doesn't.
Everything matters. Every choice matters. There's no room for things that don't matter, or people that don't matter. Goodness. Just looking at you messes with my perfect happiness.
But you're not happy.
Excuse me?
You're mean. Why do you have 3 clubs in your wheel? It's the worst card on the deck. Means you're uncertain in your beliefs.
You're very observant, little boy.
I know.
Fascinating.
Look of the missus is really, it's art. It's really beautifully done. You see the marriage of the artwork coming in film, where you see, okay, here's comes the hair department, and then comes the costumes, the makeup, and it's just a bunch of people using this person as their clay, and it's really kind of fun to see. You know, it's just pretend, but it's adults doing it in this very kind of serious way, and it's, I don't know, it's thrilling, actually.
The costumes are gorgeous. Paco Delgado was our costume designer, and he has just a vision, and there's nothing subtle about any of it. It's more is more with Paco. Beautiful colors and so much fabric, and we had layers of costumes that had to be applied at different times because we couldn't walk sometimes, we couldn't move, but it was real pageantry and felt really special.
You can't help but feel confident when you are putting on like a 10-pound wig and a costume that extends 4 feet in either direction. It's like you can't be tentative in your choices when you're wearing that kind of costume, so it was really helpful.
The universe is bright tonight because of you.
This is an idea that happened in a meeting, and we would just toss ideas around. And this is one of the ones. So now to see it actually come to life is kind of amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
This set is known as the circular room or the temple. This set is intended to look like nowhere. It's made up of 22,000 holes with what we call pucks that we've cast that fit into them. It can be lit from behind and in front. The pucks cast a little shadow, and as you move around the set, your perspective will change.
Oh, no. Just relax. Don't fight it.
The round room, you have a feeling of not being able to quite get your bearings. And because it's squashed, those holes are different sizes. So it was 22,000 different sized little tunnels. It was a really extraordinary feat of engineering by our incredible construction crew.
One of the most amazing experiences of my life, shooting here in beautiful New Zealand. Look at this is real. Let's shoot.
For what Uriel was described at, which is imagine the greatest, most lush, most beautiful place on earth. That's what Uriel is. And so we went to New Zealand because that's really what it is.
We're in beautiful New Zealand, and we just did our first tessering scene. And I'm just really excited to be in New Zealand. I'm just on top of the world right now, literally on top of the world.
There were just terrains that we wanted to embrace practically and not necessarily all in a digital realm. There are so many gorgeous parts of New Zealand that are very kind of extreme in their departures from everyday life. It was just a really magical vibe there.
I feel a sense of profound, soulful, connected gratitude just to be in the space here.
One of the great things about making this movie is filming it on beautiful locations in New Zealand, places up in Eureka, California, and then a lot of places around Los Angeles for some of the home Earth-based scenes.
Ava DuVernay is from Compton originally and grew up not far from Crenshaw High, which is one of the first locations not only we shoot at, but the movie begins at. She fought very hard for us to be at Crenshaw High. It's an iconic school in an iconic city, really.
And then there's a whole section that is not in the book, what we call Landis Monster. And we're shooting that up in Eureka, and we found beautiful forests.
Up in Humboldt County, the trees, they were so old, and they were incredibly tall. I mean, I kind of wanted to climb one.
One of the first things that Ava brought to this vision is that she wanted to have a diverse cast. And the moment she said it, everyone said yes.
The diversity of the cast came out of Ava's imagination. I mean, when you read the story, the Misses all appear to be like Little Miss Doubtfires. They all seem like these little 80, 100-year-old ladies, but Ava found another way to imagine them into a reality that is thrilling.
Storm Reid herself as Meg, is a departure from what the girl is described as in the book, Meg Murray. She's a biracial girl, and so this is a girl who's inclusive of all different kinds of people. The real world is made up of all kinds of people. It is a quilt. We all play a part. And so we've tried to populate our film like the real world.
In all the decades that I spent with Madeleine L'Engle talking about A Wrinkle in Time, she told me that the most important line to her in the book was like and equal are not the same thing at all. And when Ava said she wanted a cast that was diverse, it was the embodiment of why she wrote this book.
Ava did a really good job casting the kids in this movie because there's a realness to them. But Storm is playing it as real, and she broke my heart the other day when we were doing the scene, and she's a really good actress, and more importantly, she's a nice young lady, it's refreshing.
We really, from the very first audition tapes, there was about 5 folks that Ava met in the first go-around, and she immediately said, that's the girl.
I want to make scientific discoveries. I want to be known for my mind, not balancing on...
Clairvoyance, telepathy, something. It would help if you develop an act, you know?
Yeah. Maybe I just don't want the whole world staring at me.
Storm Reid is a star born. I mean, that's a girl who's born to play this role. I know that something really divine is going on there, that girl would be tapped for this moment to carry this story forward. She's a special girl.
I'm sorry. We're just here to see Dad, remember?
She's obviously been raised beautifully and is kind and smart and polite, works well with others. Has an incredible bandwidth of emotion to draw upon. She's a good person.
I'm just so blessed to be here, and I feel like it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm just glad to be here with Ava, to share this experience with her, and have fun.
Levi is a wonderful, thoughtful young man. He's very well read and thinks about big things in life, which is perfect for the character Calvin.
Levi is just a gentle, sweet young man who, we talk about kids being older than their years, who when you talk to him, he's 15, but he seems like he's going on 50. He's just such a sweet and sensitive kid.
Calvin O'Keefe, he always tries to be a nice person because he knows what it's like to not be treated nicely, and so he wants everyone else to feel the same. And I feel like that's a very, very sweet trait of his.
Such a gentleman. Every single time I was trying to come down off the rafters, on the wire and whatever, he's like standing down there waiting to take my hand.
Then we have Mrs. Whatsit. She's the youngest. She is really connected to her life as a star. She was hilarious in the book, and we, of course, have embraced that fully.
My character, she's funny in her childlike way, and that she says sort of inappropriate things sometimes, and sometimes she says things out loud that she doesn't realize people can hear her, and it was very fun for me. I really enjoyed creating this character.
I just crack up watching Reese play her.
Reese Witherspoon? I know a little bit. Reese and I had a lemonade years ago together.
Reese is someone that I was friends with before the movie started, but, spending 16 hours a day with her, I think really cemented our relationship.
Mindy and Reese, my 2 favorite friend chatterboxes. They never stop talking. In between takes, the moment Ava says cut, they go right back. The chatter all the time. They're the chatterin'est women I ever did see. Oh my God, all the time. We're talking about.
Oh no. Oh no.
Talking about. It was fantastic. I think they'll be friends for life. And what can you say about Deric McCabe?
Deric McCabe is one of the most precocious young actors I've ever met. He's outgoing and vivacious and so alive and vibrant, and it was just a pleasure to go to work and hear what Deric had to say every day.
Exactly.
Deric barely spoke.
Hi, camera. The cameraman. I know I'm Deric McCabe, but you all are awesome.
You know, when you're shooting a movie for weeks and weeks and you have to be in hair and makeup for 3 hours and to go onto set and the days are long and you're in harnesses, it's wonderful to have someone like Deric around because he's so full of energy and he's so positive. So he was great to have on set.
I love him. He's so sweet. He's most of all funny. This was his first big role and my first big role. So we kind of learned together and we grew together. So I love him.
Me and Storm, we always have dance-offs. We always booty bump, you know? No matter how much work it takes, we make it fun. Bam, bam. Bam, bam, Deric out.
Those are our crystal amber teeters. They're like seesaws.
They really built a beautiful set. I thought it was all going to be green screen. You know, I trained on the wires, and then I did okay on the wires and flipped a couple of times, and then Ava says, I want you to see the set now. I was feeling pretty cocky about the wires, but yeah, this is easy. I can flip in these things. Because you'll be flipping them there. I don't know, what was that, 40 feet, 45 feet up?
You'll jump onto that teeter, then you'll backflip onto that one, and you'll backflip down.
I can't stand on an apple box without getting vertigo. It looks like a nightclub I used to go to in New York.
This cave is 3 times as big as this, so green screen will take over at the top. See? There's another set, which is the top of your cave. This is when they enter.
I got it.
That's on another stage.
Okay.
This is the lower portion.
Sorry.
Great job.
Honestly, to be playing a supernova who uses her wisdom to help guide these children in their path for what's right and good toward the light. I mean, hello. Speaking my language in every way.
She would walk onto the set in her blonde wig and her gowns and say, I am here.
Mrs. Switch is here. Hello, Disney friends.
Because she was in character, and it wasn't a stretch.
Oprah was cast so perfectly. The head missus who has seen literally everything in the universe since the beginning of time. So if you had to think of a human who would embody that, it'd probably be Oprah Winfrey.
She really encourages all of us to find the light inside of us and share that with the world, which is sort of what Oprah does.
For me, she was a cross between Maya Angelou, who is a mentor, friend, mother figure for me, and Glinda the Good Witch, who is my favorite all-time mythical magical character. So you have a little bit of Glinda, and then you have a lot of Maya. And so you combine the two and put me in the center as the vessel for it, and you get Mrs. Witch.
And then there's Mrs. Who. And Mrs. Who's wonderful. She's evolved so much that she doesn't quite understand why we need language. So in order to communicate, she doesn't bother to think up things herself. She just steals words from everyone else. But at the heart of Mrs. Who is she's all love.
Mrs. Who speaks only in quotations, which is sort of ironic because Mindy is one of the most verbose people I know and talks constantly. And so she had sort of the confines of only speaking in verse, but it was really fun and it was great to see what she did with that performance.
You need to get up, and get something. How will you make it if you never even try?
Outcast. American.
For someone like me who's very expressive and has a lot to say and a lot of personal opinions, it was really challenging to take on a role of somebody who only spoke through other people's words and sentiments. It also means that I couldn't improvise on set, which is kind of one of the first times that's ever happened. It was pretty fun, but a challenge for me as an actor.
just amazing to watch Ava work and be the general of this incredible army of hundreds of people coming to make this film. It's the first time for me, I've been making movies for a long time, to see a woman at the center of a production that large. And she just does it with such ease and self-confidence.
For me to be an African-American woman, to be able to see her step into this at this particular time in her life, and I get to witness that, is one of the great experiences of my life. And I will tell you that to see her every day in charge of this really magnificent crew. I mean, there's everybody in the world from every walk of life. I mean, diversity, inclusion, oh Lord, everybody's here. But to see her manage with such grace and such confidence and such assurance, wow, it makes me proud to spell my name woman. It makes me proud to spell my name W-O-M-A-N.
One of the things that is remarkable about Ava's vision is we have taken the book and we've pushed it through the book into the movie.
Ava really realized that the book itself was this amazing starting point, but we could create something that was different, something that felt like what A Wrinkle in Time, the book, was, but in fact was a completely new reinvention of it in the most positive, modern way.
Working with Ava, she's so collaborative, and she wants to create something that will evoke the book, but give people something they've never seen before, and that inspires me, and I'm also in awe of her ideas. I mean, she just has the greatest imagination.
My overall vision for the film is to create, with a fantastic team of artists and craftspeople, something emotionally resonant and visually stunning. Really designing these worlds in a way that reverberates within you when you see it.
You were in an amazing film with the Oprah. And you had an amazing director. You've been around amazing people who took time to speak to you and nurture you.
Everybody on set was amazing, and we became like family, but I would have to say Miss Ava, Miss Oprah, Miss Reese, and Miss Mindy.
So respectful. I love it.
I call them my aunties, but they are like mentors, and
Yeah.
to have such an amazing director behind me, and I don't look at her as just a director, because she's so hands-on, and she
Yeah.
wants to everybody to be included, and she wants her set to look like the United Nations, which I just admire so much and respect so much.
Yeah.
And then Miss Reese, she started in the industry when she was really young, so she
Yeah.
gave me some advice, and so did Miss Mindy. And then Miss Oprah, I mean, she's like the wisest woman on the universe,
Wow.
in the universe. So
Yeah.
to be able to just get information from her and advice from her and just
What was something that she said to you that you can remember?
She said, don't waste energy on things you can't change in life when you could be
Wow.
using that energy on something else positive in your life.
Wow.
So that goes deep.
It just hit me because I'm just
Right.
thinking about all the things I'm like worried about that I shouldn't be worried about.
So I use that to stay positive, and just to have them be able to pour into me and have them
Yeah.
as my aunties, as I
Yeah.
call them, is really special. How about you?
Ryan wasn't just a director to me.
Right.
He's like my big brother now.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? We have our own handshake and everything that I always forget. But yeah, he was a big brother to me, and he encouraged me in a way that he just saw what I didn't see in myself. Like, he just saw the light in me. He just saw the talent. Like, from the day one, like, every day on set when I have a difficult time, he would just come up and be like, you got this.
Right.
You know, and anytime I got frustrated, he was so patient with me. Like, he would just know when something's up, and he would try to flip it, and we would like make jokes. He'd be like, hey Tish, you say a joke, and then he would get like me to smile, like, roll the camera, Rach, roll the camera, she's smiling. You know what I mean? So he would get me to get into that place, and just his aura, just his energy, you know what I'm saying? So he was amazing. And the second person for me would be Angela Bassett. She just reminded me about treating others with respect, treating others the way I want to be treated, and for longevity, you need to really take care and nurture your reputation. And she was an amazing contribution to my journey on Black Panther, and I'm looking forward to continuing that with her.
Yeah, I think we had some pretty dope mentors.
I know. Yeah. You can meet one of them and be like, hey, auntie.
Yes, hey, auntie.
Hey, auntie.
Face your fears. Fulfill your destiny.
My love is always there, even if you can't see it.
Do you trust me?
I trust you!
Have faith in who you are.
Disney's A Wrinkle in Time on digital and Blu-ray.
Okay, so are you a Disney movie fan? Did you like the video? What's your favorite Disney movie? I've got some behind-the-scenes facts from Disney movies. Production on Beauty and the Beast, which was a combination of traditional hand-drawn and computer-generated images, ran out of time and money, so they had to reuse the dancing scenes from Sleeping Beauty. Also, do you remember this scene in Frozen where Elsa walks out of her ice palace? Well, it took 132 hours, more than 5 days to generate, and that's not including the time it took to draft, draw, and create. Whoa. Okay, so if you want to watch more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you receive the videos the moment they are online. See you next time.